I'm joined once again today by Avi Lipkin. He is an author, a lecturer, a journalist, and as we spoke about the last time Avi joined us, at one point he had this incredible viral video, 5 or 6 million views, pointing out the flaws with President Obama's birth certificate. Avi has said that argument is more or less moot at this point. But in his last interview with us, he did maintain that he believes President Obama is a Muslim. Avi, it's great to have you back. Is this still a concern for you that President Obama is secretly a Muslim?
Yes, absolutely. And let me explain it like this. I'm a New York-born Jewish American Israeli. I moved to Israel 46 years ago, and I married a Jewish woman from Egypt, Rachel, and she moved to Israel when she was 20 years old. She left Egypt at age 20. Egyptian Arabic is her mother tongue. And for the last 30 years, she has been working for Kol Israel radio and TV, monitoring the Arabic language broadcasts of our neighbors. These are not secret military broadcasts. These are simply talk shows and interviews, radio, TV, Al Jazeera in Arabic. And so she listens to things that they say, and very often it's mundane, day-to-day things. But sometimes, for example, on January the 19th, 2010, before the Arab Spring in February of 2011, the Egyptian Foreign Minister Abu Ghait was debating with Muslim Brotherhood representatives on Channel 3, the Nile Channel. And the program was called the Round Table Forum. And he was basically debating, he was representing Mubarak, who was still in power at the time, and he was debating versus 3-4 Muslim Brotherhood people. And they were saying, you know, Israel must declare war on Israel, and Israel must be destroyed, and the peace agreement terminated. And when they finished, he said, okay, my turn, now I talk. You listen to me. You Muslim Brotherhood people, you're all little children. You don't know how to run a country. We have been running Egypt all these, centuries. We know what to do with Israel when. And let me calm you guys down. President Obama visited Egypt in the year 2009. He visited Cairo, and I had a one-on-one meeting with him. And he swore to me that he's a Muslim, that his father from Kenya was a Muslim.
I know. So Avi, I don't, we did this part last time. I just want to get people up to speed. But like I said last time, it's very weird to me that on the one hand, you're so distrustful of Muslims, and at the same time, you take their word that they know President Obama is a Muslim. But the question I want to break new ground with you this time. What if President Obama were a Muslim, right? It's an absurd proposition, but let's assume for a second that he were. He's sending airstrikes to ISIS. Unlike George W. Bush, he didn't kiss the Saudi king on both cheeks. He's clearly a very bad Muslim that doesn't seem to be favoring Muslims. He's appointing a Jewish woman to the US Supreme Court, so on and so forth. If your hypothesis that President Obama is a Muslim were true, which it's not, what has he actually done that's so concerning to you?
Okay, well, again, when people who I respect, and you, for example, I respect you, I love you very much, but what I say is people who are not married to my wife are not married to a live wire who picks up things every day in the Arabic language.
But that's not really the point of my question.
No, I know, but the point is President Obama has very clear directives from the Saudi leadership to do certain things. And regarding ISIS, he is not going to really clobber ISIS. He's going to give them, I don't know if you remember, young people in America, 40 lashes with a wet noodle. The attacks against ISIS are very superficial. 92% of Saudi Arabian youth support ISIS. Saudi Arabia will inevitably fall to ISIS. The reason the Saudi king tells Obama to do something about it is because the Saudi king is afraid for his life.
But Avi, do you agree, do you realize and agree with the unquestionable fact that George W. Bush had a stronger relationship with the Saudi royal family than that of President Obama?
Well, Sean Hannity had me on his show, and he won't have me again because I said George W. Bush and the whole family has gotten $17 billion from the Saudis over the last 20 years.
And did you think he was a Muslim?
George W. Bush is not a Muslim, but what I'm saying is all presidents, Democrat or Republican, serve the Islamic Saudi agenda because the American economy is addicted to the oil and the petrodollars, and now the votes, because you have millions of Muslims becoming American citizens, and their vote is crucial. And I believe even that the Muslims outnumber the Jews in America today. America is no longer Judeo-Christian. It is Christian-Muslim. And Obama said it in his inaugural address in January 2009. But the point I'm saying is, and this is what I want to stress,
Yeah.
he has 3 orders, according to my wife Rachel. She listens to them.
But Avi, I apologize for interrupting, but we have to break this. It's just such a contradiction that on the one hand, you're so critical of Muslims, we can't trust Muslims, etc., but you take at complete face value what they say on their own broadcast channels as if it's completely true. How do you justify that in obvious contradiction?
Well, if you let me finish, you'll understand why.
Okay.
There are 2 types of Islamic agenda. There is the revolutionary and there is the evolutionary. 9/11 was revolutionary. ISIS is revolutionary. The Shiite regime in Iran is revolutionary. The Saudi king is evolutionary. He's not a moderate, but he's evolutionary, meaning America will be made a Muslim country through immigration, petrodollars, and oil supplies. The U.S. government is totally dependent on the Saudi economy today.
Agree.
As you know, China and the Islamic world hold America's debt. I say, as a result of the Arab Spring, that there will be millions of Muslims fleeing the Middle East, coming to live in America. The Saudis have promised, according to the broadcast we have, to pay for new housing for the millions of Muslims who will be coming into the U.S. The U.S. economy is going to take off like never before. The dollar will be stronger than ever because of the billions, if not trillions of dollars that will flow into this country from the Saudi coffers to build homes for the tens of millions of Muslims. My wife picked up broadcast. America will be made Muslim.
Oh, boy.
Even if it takes 30 years. They said 150, 30 years ago. Now they say 30 years, America will be a Muslim country.
And Avi, if we're talking about a plan that is anywhere from 30 to 150 years in the making, what has President Obama done as a Muslim in his 6 years that has altered the course of this 30 to 150 year plan? So far, you haven't identified anything.
Well, America, and I was born in America, raised in America, used to be a Christian country. America today is no longer a Christian country. It is now becoming a Muslim country. President Obama even said America is the biggest Muslim country in the world. And he's a prophet, because what's happening is these Muslims will be coming into the U.S. from the Arab Spring countries. We're talking about massive collapse of Islamic governments, Arab governments in the Middle East. These people are going to be starving. When people starve, they leave. They're going to come to America, and they will be backed financially by the Saudis. To make the world Islamic, which is the Islamic plan, you must have an Islamic population in the United States and make America, the kingpin, a Muslim country. This is the program. Obama did not start it. This was happening already under Democratic and Republican presidents going back 30, 40 years.
Yeah, well, that's exactly why, Avi, what I'm confused about, and I'm not asking any of these questions rhetorically or in an effort to kind of sandbag, I just don't understand why, if we buy into the internal logic of what I call your conspiracy theory, why is it even relevant that President Obama be Muslim? In other words, why do you need to paint him as Muslim to even tell this conspiracy theory? It seems it predates President Obama, and it's a 30-year plan anyway.
Very correct. In that sense, you're right. But I will say one thing. The plan... I understand what you're saying. I respect what you're saying, because what you're saying makes sense if you were not married to my wife.
I see.
My wife picked up broadcasts where they're saying Obama has 3 tasks: destroy the Ayatollah regime in Iran, destroy Israel, and destroy Christian America, make it Muslim America.
But so Avi, when Muslims say that the overwhelming majority of Muslims are not violent, don't hate the United States, don't want to move to the United States, do you believe them when they say that?
I do, but my wife doesn't. My
Okay.
wife and I disagree also. I think 90% of the Muslims, according to law enforcement that I have spoken to, are peacekeeping, law-abiding citizens, but 10% are terrorists. 10% of, I'd say there are 30 million Muslims in America today. 30 million, 10% is 3 million. You got 6 million Jews. The writing is on the wall in America for America's Jews and the Christians who are with them. So this is something that I cover very clearly. Obama is not in favor of killing Jews in America, but the Islamic terrorists who are coming into this country who do want to kill the Jews kill the Jew on Saturday, kill the Christian on Sunday. The Saudis, are very, very afraid because ISIS wants to kill them for doing business with the Christian state in America.
All right. Well,
So,
listen, we know that people have been wanting to kill Jews for a very, very long time. I just don't see how that fits into your continuing hypothesis that President Obama is Muslim. But, it's fascinating to hear it. We've been speaking with Avi Lipkin, author, lecturer, journalist. We didn't agree on much, but at least we agree that the US alliance with Saudi Arabia is not a positive thing. We've at least found that bit of agreement, I'd say.